So, first of all,
Okay.
couple thoughts on this
I don't
issue.
know why you set me off with that, but I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
You didn't need any of this computer nonsense if you're going to lay out that he has this residual energy in him. All you had to do was set up his bamfing powers that they were on the fritz and have him like start ending up in places that he doesn't intend. So now you don't have to have Kitty pulling him out. You don't need the Kitty Ilyana, subplot here, which makes no sense. All you needed to do was have it set up that like he starts to teleport and he ends up in this other dimension, and then his powers are negated, so he can't teleport the whole issue. He defeats the shark wizard guy, whatever, and then he can teleport again, but he can't get home. He teleports to a different dimension. Now here's your framing device that his teleportation's on the fritz, sets up a mystery that means a little bit more to him, and then you end the issue just as you end it here with like the explanation from the proto mojo or whatever the heck we're dealing with here, like because that's the other thing that would have made a lot more sense with all this. I know the mojo is a little ways off, maybe even in the next epic, I forget, but it is it's not that far in the future, but is in the future still. And all of this would have made more sense that these are like other dimensions, but they're like they're almost set up specifically because they're watching our dimension, right? So that's where all the familiarity comes from and things like that. So that was annoying because I'm like, you have a plot device that makes more sense. What is this idiocy that we're dealing with of like the computers and we just happen to be in a Kitty story dimension randomly and all that stuff. So anyway, so that was driving me nuts. The other thing was the little gag at the end that kind of bothered me a little bit. Not a ton, but on the last page they make a joke of, hey, Kitty, Kitty and Nightcrawler or Kitty and Ilyana like are saying something to the effect of like, hey, it would have been funny to be there when you got, your clothes got teleported back. And he's like, oh, you're too young for that. And he's like, well, you should see the stack of Playgirls that she's got. And it's like, wait, what? What is going on? Who's buying the 14-year-old girl who, by the way, is canonically like still 7 Playgirls? Like, not only were you not allowed to have Playgirls or Playboys under the age of like 18, but there's no like parental figure here that she could be stealing them from. Granted, in the 80s you might find like things like that in the woods, but you're not like finding a Playgirl in the woods. Um, and by the way, she's well, at least to us, she's 7. She's not even 15.
What?
Now, granted, time moved differently in the demon dimension, so she's probably like she lived 14 years or 15 years or whatever it is. But I don't know, like the fact that like they, and I know it's a throwaway line, but we're gonna get into some issues soon where Art Adams is gonna have some amazing art, but is also gonna have her and these people in bikinis and things like that. And it's like they're a little young for